Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad you're all here. This is day number 362, and my name is Jordan Alves. I'm the founder of dayNumber. And if it's your first time tuning in, I've been documenting my journey every single day for the last 362 days here on YouTube, and then also on what do you call it? On dayNumber since day number 170 for me. And I can't believe, 3 more days. It's gonna be a year of me doing this. And I never thought, when I first embarked on this journey, if it's your first time tuning in, um, I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. My intention was, okay, I'm looking to build a documentary series, going behind the scenes of like founders who went from broke to billions of dollars and are also making an impact on the world as well in a positive way. And I was looking to raise a $10 million fund, and that this documentary series would basically help be the distribution network to build a network of early stage mission driven founders worldwide. And then King Cookiem says, "Hey, what's up? I'm the first to watch this. Hey, 10 mil." Yep, 10 mil, man. 10 mil is what I was looking to raise back almost a year ago, 362 days ago. It's gonna be a year, three days from now. I think the font looks different now. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, the font looks different. I think YouTube changed it. So, and then fast forward, I started a school community in August, I think, and then not too long after I started, so I decided instead of going for the documentary series, I'm gonna build a community instead. Because I think at that time school launched like a $9 community option, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this. This is probably better. And then fast forward to December, I started building a platform, which is because by that time I was already like, you know what? The only thing, and I told my friend Paul, who I started this journey with 362 days ago, like the only thing that's really kept me going was knowing three things. Number one, knowing how many days I've been building, which is my day number. Since I committed to building this project, documenting what happened each day, no matter what, even if I felt like I wanted to quit, or I just didn't feel good that day, or I just didn't feel like it, and then sharing that publicly, knowing that somebody would probably see it, so it kind of like puts my word out there. And those were the things that kept me going, because there's definitely many days where I wanted to quit. There's definitely many days where, I wanted to give up, right? So I was like, but those were the three factors that kept me going. So I'm like, hey, what if I build something like this for other founders, right? And that's where the community is called, it's a community for founders online. It's an online community on school. For founders that early stage mission driven founders building alone. Would love to have you guys part of the community. Here with Max, by the way. Maxie boy. He's still looking for a spot. Nice sunny day today. Yeah, so that was so I started building that platform in December. Then I kind of like diverted my attention to that. I was like focused on that. And then a few months into it, like probably 3 or 4 months into it, I ran into somebody on LinkedIn that was talking about like launching a fund. And like I said, from the beginning, I wanted to launch a fund. And they provided a way that you can do it just partnering with them, You don't have to set up the corporation and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to build a fund now. So it all kind of came full circle. And now I'm back to promoting school, because school is now promoting schools, like communities within them. Like they're actually spending advertising dollars pushing people to the communities on their platform, and they get like a 30% cut. So I thought, okay, why not leverage what's there? Now everything's coming into place. Because in order for me to raise the fund from investors, they have to see like what I'm going to be investing in, and what is my investment thesis, meaning like how am I showing them that I could take their money and multiply it? What's my method, basically? What's my strategy, right? And And so dayNumber is going to be like, so now everything's coming together. So all I'm saying is that um, the first thing that I did, I usually talk about like what happened each day. Yesterday, I reached out to 15 VCs, and I used Claude to actually help me to navigate and do that. I was actually working that day, and then also spoke with a few founders, and made a pitch deck actually for an interactive pitch deck, almost like a website for a founder that I'm helping, Akshat. You can check him out on dayNumber. He's building something called Defense Against Misinformation, or also known as DAM. And yeah, there was many times that what I was trying to do with the outreach with Claude, I was like, I kept failing. I was about to give up. Like, screw this, man. Claude's not working for some reason. I was getting pissed off, and then I finally figured it out. And then, so I was reading, and then this morning I was reading about like the launch, the first Falcon 1 of SpaceX when it launched, and it was like Elon was so nervous. He was talking about like, asking the guy that's literally launching the rocket about parts for like the Falcon 5, like the 5th iteration. And his brother said that he would do this when he would get nervous. He would talk to you about like things that would happen in the future for whatever reason, because he was like really nervous. And then finally, when they were in mid-launch, he like looked, and it looked like it was gonna, the rocket was gonna like keep going, but it didn't hold through, and then it ended up crashing. And so that night, what are you talking about? Yeah, that night, they all sat around the campfire, sipping a beer, and Elon said to them, he's like, look, we all knew mission 1 would fail, right? We would fail on our first mission, right? Because Elon he cared about, multi-planetary species, making consciousness space-bearing, and not, because what if like we're the only type of consciousness out there in this whole planet? Then that means human consciousness is very fragile, so this was their only shot. So he knew he was gonna fail, and that's the main lesson I want to share, is like, if you know that you're gonna make a mistake, and that was a costly failure. Like he put 4 million of his own in the beginning, and then invested another 9 million, I think, and then raised another 40 million from a lead investor in Silicon Valley. And that was all that money in almost all that money in the first project, So if you think about it, and he knew that there was like a 10% chance that this wouldn't work. His friend, even Adeo Resi, who's the fund that I'm partnering with, he has a VC fund, like literally made like a real video of like all of these rockets exploding, and then look, his first rocket exploded pretty much, so Tuners game, are you yapping, dude? Yeah. See, Crochet says, really, that's so cool. King Cookium says, bro, talking about business. Infinite Feet says, Elon is a clown. King Cookium says, LOL. Nice. You guys watch the World Cup soccer? It's crazy how much how much revenue they generated. FIFA, $9 billion, from the World Cup. That's pretty crazy. I didn't realize it, but they probably spent a lot of money too. So it's like when you're doing events, like there's definitely an investment, so yeah. So what are you guys up to today? What's everyone up to today? Max, what are you up to? Huh? You want to go? You want to play? Yeah, he wants to play. Come on, let's go. See, I don't have a, what do you call it? Stabilizer. My hand is my stabilizer, somehow. Yeah, what's everyone up to today? 9 was... Okay, let's go. I think that's it's a blue jay. know if you guys can see that in the distance. There are 2 Blue Jays. What? That's crazy. Back to back, bro. They almost won. They almost won. It was so sad to see them lose, you know, that close, you know, being that close. Oh, 3 Blue Jays. Holy. 3 Blue Jays. That's pretty crazy. 3 Blue Jays. Whew. Yeah, guys, so that's what I wanted to share with you, is that when you're building as a founder, if you know that not everything is going to be perfect, if you're scared to raise money from investors or go try to pitch a product to somebody, or share an idea, like look at these guys that started had the idea for the electric vehicle. There was two groups of people, but the founders that went to Elon and got the initial investment for Tesla, took a chance. You know, they sent Elon Musk an email or something like that, and Elon's like, sure, you know, because they got connected, you know, through somebody. It was like an introduction, you know. So yeah, they took a chance to pitch Elon, and then they got their first investment into Tesla, which was I think 4.2 million. Yeah, 4.2 million or something like that. Actually, so then SpaceX first investment was like, I think Elon put like, I forgot, 9 million maybe I'm wrong. But anyways, you have to take that chance. Know that you're gonna fail. Know that some investors are gonna say no. You know, even when Elon was raising that other round, when he got that 40 million, you know, he got rejected by Sequoia Capital, who invested in him actually during the PayPal days, right? And he's like, no, I'm not gonna compete with Toyota. He's like, he was in like one of the first roadsters that was like had the Lotus type of body, and he got rejected. You know, so you have to know, once you made up in your mind, know that, okay, I'm gonna get some no's, I'm gonna fail. You know, King Cookim says 7, but 10. I don't know what you're writing there. I'm not sure. What the? Yeah, so yeah, you have to, like, when I used to do sales, like, and I still do sales today, I know that I'm gonna make, let's say, 100 calls. Let's say out of 100 calls in a day, when I'm calling businesses during the day, maybe 10% of the people will be actual business owners. Half of them will probably not even be answering the phone. Okay, so you only get to talk to really like a handful of people a day, and out of those handful of people, a few of them might be leads, and then maybe one might lead to a sale, right? So when you know in your mind, it's just like when I do this example, when I have cards on me, like a deck of cards. Imagine 52 deck of cards, and you're looking for the aces, and the obviously, if you want to cheat, if you want to find the aces, you just put the deck all face up and you look for the aces, right? And this is where I do a magic trick, and I was like, oh, I could do it a magical way. But he's like, if you're not going to do it that way, and you're just going through the deck one by one, you're going to flip the cards one by one until you find an ace, right? And you're not going to complain when you get one card. It's just how fast can you go through that deck, right? And so that's what you have to understand, is like, when you know that you're gonna run into, not everybody's gonna be a yes, and you know that you have to dig through the sand, or dig through the pile, turn over the rocks, turn over the cards, in order to find what you're looking for. And whatever, you won't even think about it. Imagine if there's a pile of rocks in front of you, and or even a pile of rocks in front of you, and you know that somewhere in that pile of rocks somebody hid a stack of $10,000. Like, it was somewhere in there. You wouldn't even be thinking about the rocks. You would just be like looking for the $10,000, right? So it's like you have to go through that pile in order to actually reveal and find the $10,000, right? So just look at life that way. Like when you're pitching your business, or when you're investing, looking for investors. Oh, what was that? It's like a crow somewhere. I don't know. I seen it earlier. somewhere. It's somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's in the tree somewhere. Yeah, so you have to know that that it's a numbers game, and you won't even think about it as a numbers game like that. Just like that idea, you're not even all you're focused on is like you're not even focused on the ones that are saying no or whatever. You're kind of like you're just focused on hitting your target or finding it is what it is you need to find, right? So, but people are so obsessed about the process and they're scared of it, thinking that it'll be a waste of time or that maybe there is no gold, maybe it's not even there, maybe I'll never find these aces, right? But sorry guys, really yeah, so you have to know that so that's why when you know exactly what you want, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, right? And that's actually I just read, with one of the tests that they were gonna do before their main launch was to see if the engines would like fire up, and all they needed to do to test it was like a 3-second test, and one of the I think capacitors couldn't hold the voltage and it failed, and so it wouldn't transition to like the second stage of like igniting the engines for the Falcon 1 thrusters. And so what happened was one of the engineers or whatever flew went to the airport that night or something like that, caught a flight to Hawaii, then to I think Los Angeles, and there was somebody from Minnesota that had these parts, met him at the airport, and then Elon and him and the intern flew all the way to where they were, the launch site, which was 20 hours away, and then ended up getting that test done, a 3-second test. So they did whatever it took, right? So anyways, guys, I have to go. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. King Cookium, Infinite, C Crochet, Tunester Game, everybody that tuned in. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Remember, do whatever it takes and know that you're gonna fail, and you're gonna have to go through that failure process until you get to the destination that you're looking to go. And if not, you still had to